So nothing else was done as far as them talking to Miss Johnny about acceptance of responsibility.
The only thing Miss Johnny said, they called and asked her for her updated address, and that was it.
Okay.
This hearing starts off like a slow-motion car crash. You can see exactly where it's headed, but she just refuses to hit the brakes. The defendant is sitting there acting like responsibility is some kind of foreign language, pretending she doesn't understand what's really at stake. And the wild part is she's seconds away from ruining her own plea deal. It's like she's allergic to accountability, I swear. Some people walk into court treating it like an episode of Let's Make a Deal, except the only prize you can win here is jail time. Meanwhile, the judge already looks like they're completely done playing therapist. And it honestly blows my mind how often defendants talk themselves into a worse situation instead of just taking responsibility and letting the deal work in their favor. Because most plea deals are actually designed to help you avoid a much worse outcome, not trap you. Oh, what do you guys think about this defendant? Is she just nervous and panicking, or is she really about to sabotage her own deal? Let's dive in and see what happens.
So was there another one and then this was an updated one?
No, because I thought she was
Like this
talking
says this is an update. So is there an old PSI?
this is the old PSI that's in there. There isn't an updated one. She said the only update is this cover page.
Reflected on the cover page.
Right. So I don't know what that means. The only change reflected is the cover page.
They didn't do it updated. Because I spoke with Miss Johnny and she said this is the same one from the last PSI. The old one.
Here's both of them.
I guess I don't understand why we got two. I'm very confused.
Well, this was
Remind
one
me.
where she had pled and you refused to go along with it because she didn't accept responsibility for the crime.
Uh-huh.
And then we came back and she did accept responsibility, so we re-pled for the same.
Okay.
There was a different attorney involved on the first time when I was appointed.
She pled in May of last year. Before the first time.
So nothing else was done as far as them talking to Miss Johnny about acceptance of responsibility.
The
They
only
didn't.
thing Miss Johnny said, they called and asked her for her updated address, and that was it.
Okay. So, Miss Johnny, I'm going to ask you again, and I know we probably went through this before. First of all, you're Kirsten Johnny. And Miss Johnny, I want to make sure, because in that previously you said you didn't do it, you were forced to do it because of your financial, you were forced to plea because of your financial situation, and that it wasn't fair. And so tell me what your position is now.
I never really said I didn't do it. I said it was an accident.
Okay.
I still feel the same way a little bit.
All right.
I'm not gonna say I do feel the same way.
Now I understand, but you're not disagreeing that you didn't.
I said it was an accident. Somebody grabbing you by your foot. That's like somebody accidentally hit you in the back of your head. You're gonna have something that's normal.
Well, right, because you were not complying with what they told you to do to get out of the car, correct?
I was pulled over because I was in a high. I stay in the area. I was pulled over because.
Hang on. Don't talk yourself out of this again. Because if you want to talk yourself out of it, we'll put it on the trial docket and we'll get it done in a few weeks and let a jury decide. Look at me. I'm actually trying to help you right now. Okay? If you had complied and just done what he asked you to from the very beginning of that stop, none of this would have happened. Do you agree or disagree with that?
Yes.
Yes, what?
Yeah.
No, do you agree? Listen to the question. Do you agree with that statement or do you disagree with that statement?
I don't wanna lie.
You don't like it, do you? You don't think he should have done that?
It's not that. I feel like we was pulled over for no reason. If you follow.
It doesn't matter if you were pulled over for no. Listen to me. This is why we're hearing stuff all over in the news. It doesn't matter what you think. If a cop pulls you over, then you take the ticket for not wearing your seatbelt. This is all over not wearing your seatbelt, and here you are in felony court, and you're still not taking responsibility for the fact that he said, hey ma'am, do this, and you said, I don't think you should have pulled me over, so I'm going to do whatever I want to do, and I'm going to lodge my foot against the door, and I'm not going to get out. I'm going to make you drag me out of my car, and then I'm going to kick you because you shouldn't have pulled me over in the first place, when all you had to do was get your ticket, go to JP court, and try to fight it there legally. But here you are in felony court for a second-degree felony instead.
I'm just going to say it. This whole situation screams denial. I can't stand when people twist every possible excuse instead of just saying, yeah, I messed up. It's honestly wild how some people act like accountability is some kind of painful disease they're trying to avoid. Because in my opinion, the moment you start blaming everything except your own choices, you've already lost the battle. Now sure, everyone knows the system isn't perfect, but it's also not designed to hold your hand through adulthood. And what really gets me is how she still seems convinced that she can talk her way out of reality. To that point, it's like watching someone argue with gravity. No matter how hard you try, the outcome isn't going to change. Sometimes it feels like people get addicted to the victim role because it's easier than actually changing their behavior. Because if she had just faced the truth the first time, she'd probably be moving on with her life by now instead of standing in front of the same judge again. I've seen this pattern play out over and over. It's not bad luck, it's bad habits. And honestly, it makes you wonder, do some people actually want help, or do they just want the attention that comes with the drama?
So do you want to try to tell that story to a jury, or do you want to accept some responsibility today?
I don't feel like going to trial.
You don't feel like going to trial. Well, there's two parts to that question. Do you feel like accepting responsibility?
Yes, sir.
Do you think it would be a better idea next time you're pulled over to comply and just do what they ask you to?
Yes.
And Your Honor, just for the record, Miss Johnny did review the video with me in my office, so she is aware of what all transpired. She saw it.
Do you have any reason to believe she shouldn't be pleading to this from what you saw?
I do not.
So, you even saw how you acted. It's probably a good idea. All right. I'm going to find that you previously entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily. I'm going to find sufficient evidence to find you guilty. I'm going to follow the agreement that you made with the district attorney. I hope you prove me wrong on this, because I really have some concerns that you're going to be able to be successful, because you're not taking responsibility and you're not wanting to follow directions and things like that. And you're about to have 4 years of having to follow directions on probation. So I'm going to defer all proceedings for 4 years. You're ordered to pay a $500 fine. You're ordered to follow all of the rules and conditions of probation. If you do that, this is a great opportunity today, because you are not a convicted felon. You don't have that conviction on your record. And if you successfully complete it, follow all of the rules, you will never have a felony conviction. At the end of your probation, the case will actually be dismissed. The other side to that, though, and this is really important for you to understand, because we've had this conversation now so many times, I'm not likely to forget you. And you can ask anybody, and Ms. Holmes has known me for a long time. It's not usually good when I remember people, right? So if you violate your probation, you'll get brought back into court. You could be found guilty, which means you become a convicted felon, and I can sentence you to prison anywhere in the range of punishment, which is up to 20 years in prison for this. Do you understand? All right, I'm handing you the trial court certification that shows this was an agreement that I followed, so you've waived your right to appeal. You need to have a seat here in the courtroom. Probation will go over your paperwork as soon as they're ready.
Okay, and you said that I'm not considered a conviction felon, but I was told that even though you say that, it's still going to be on my record.
So the arrest is on your record. The arrest will always be on your record. But so if you're asked a question on a, filling out an application for a job or something, if it says, have you been convicted of a felony? The answer is no. But if it says, have you ever been charged with a felony, or are you on probation for a felony, you are going to have to say yes to that. But the conviction part is still better than nothing, not having that conviction, right?
Yes.
Okay, have a seat in the courtroom. Watch for probation to call you up.
You know, I actually respect...
You know, I actually respect that she finally owned up to her mistakes. But at the same time, it's kind of sad that it took hitting rock bottom to get there. I'll never really understand why some people make simple problems so much harder just because they hate admitting they were wrong, in my opinion. Accountability is one of the rarest traits these days. It's almost like people think admitting fault somehow means losing their identity. What really stands out to me is that the system keeps offering second chances, but a lot of people keep wasting them. I've seen way too many defendants treat probation like it's a suggestion, when in reality it's a privilege. Honestly, probation is kind of like a mirror. It shows you very clearly who's ready to grow, and who's about to spiral again. Hopefully this moment was a real wake-up call for her, because chances like this don't last forever. It's honestly crazy how much damage pride can cause when a little humility could have fixed the situation from the start. But I'm curious what you guys think about this ruling. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And as always, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe.